What's happening, my beautiful people? My name is Dirty Mike, and today, my friends, we got something special. If you want to get better in FUT Champions, I'm talking about pumping those results. Today, I've got a special guest. We have Taz, who not only was the first person to go 40-0, he then said screw it and did it again. So he's the first person to go 80-0, and then he became the first person to go 120-0. How are you doing, my brother?
I'm good, Mike. Thanks for having me.
I told him to drink an energy drink beforehand, but I'm going to leave his Twitter and his Twitch down below in the description. 100%, you got to follow him. There's not a better FUT Champions player right now. If you enjoy the content, make sure to drop a thumbs up. I might even be able to get Taz to come back. It was tough to fit in on the schedule. This dude is grinding heavy FIFA right now. And get it in the comments down below if you have any questions. I'll do my best to get back to you, and I'll blow up Taz if it's something specific towards him. Today, I want to put together a little bit of a guide on how to get more wins in FUT Champions, and we've got the expert himself. And I want to start out by kind of talking about your squad and your formation and why you choose this formation, and then you could break down the custom tactics better than even I can break them down. Why you have things manipulated just a tad bit this way and a tad bit that way. So talk to us about the 4-3-1-2 or the 4-1-2-1-2. We see a lot of the 4-1-2-1-2 actually, but not as much with the other variation in terms of the pro status.
Right. Well, to be honest, there's not much of a difference either way, whichever you choose. But I just feel like on 4-3-1-2, there's more pressure from your middle midfielder, so he doesn't sit back, so I get to press the opponent in. But to be honest, there's not really much difference. It's very similar. So it comes down
just
to
the holding midfielder,
but
right?
I'd still say the 4-1-2-1-2 is better. The 4-1-2-1-2 narrow is a better formation. But the reason why I start off with 4-3-1-2, I guess there's not really much of a reason. I can't sit here and say it's a better formation. All I can say is very similar. It's just a bit, you get to press your opponent in a bit more, I guess, because your central midfielder runs at him more so.
Do you ever feel limited on the wings when you're playing a really central-based formation in terms of outlet passes?
I do. However, even, for example, when on instructions you have your fullbacks to stay back, they still get forward. But you'll rarely be in, like, down the wing. So you have to sort of tiki-taka through the middle to get in on goal. Yeah. So, yeah, you are quite limited.
One of my main complaints this year, I don't know how much you experience it because you're winning the majority of your matches, is going against those park the bus opponents. Actually, some of the games I start, my opponent begins in park the bus. Does that ever get frustrating for you? What do you do against people that are wasting time? Because we're all in that situation where we have to chase a match at some point. We're talking about the additional possession play.
Yeah.
And it just becomes a headache, and dudes will send you a message about how you're not that good anymore and da-da-da-da-da. These guys get me. I'll send you a rage message if you park the bus versus me. Win or lose. And I'll put you on a list. I've started making a spreadsheet, by the way. I'm going to release this on YouTube. I have a spreadsheet of people you want to avoid in the America. Got you. No joke. Excel is right here. I've got it open. I wish I started it earlier.
I mean, I think after going against many now, after the last couple of weekends, I think the number one thing is, because when you look in the radar, you can tell within the first, 5 minutes whether he's parked the bus or counter-attack. And you're like, oh my god, he's counter-attacking. You say it to yourself as if he's like a scrub. But I think the first thing you should do is try as hard as you can to not let it affect you. So, when you see him so deep, instead of, going on and on in your head about it, just try ignore it. Because I feel like whenever I start moaning personally at something in the game, I feel like my standard of play goes down as well as while I'm moaning. So unless something over and over again crazy stupid is happening, I try to moan as least as possible.
He's describing composure. Composure is what he's talking about.
Other than that, I mean, I think especially when you play a counter-attack and park the bus, someone who's actually good as well.
That's all park the buses.
Yeah. Somebody who's good as well. In terms of good, I mean, you can't get in. He's defending really well. I mean, the initial thing you're saying is he's only defending well because he's on park the bus, but he's actually defending well.
Do you ever find yourself trying to get corner kicks versus these opponents? I made a video talking about how to beat park the bus. In this video, I brought up points such as taking long shots, making sure you attempt to shoot. If you never shoot versus park the bus, you don't get a reward of pace. Maybe your player reacts a little bit quicker. I talked about going for corners a little bit because corners really don't change whether they're in park the bus or whether they're playing attacking.
Right.
Everybody's in there. You can still win your 1v1s. I was just wondering
Yeah, I definitely agree with the shooting thing. If you have half a yard against Park the Bus and you're not getting in on goal, and you've got a player on the ball who has good shooting, good long shot, you have to take the shot across goal. But specifically for corners, I'd speak for myself. I really struggle from corners. I don't have a go-to corner. I just take it short and try to find a gap in the middle through passing. Because pre-patch you could cross it and score, but I think since the patch I really struggle with corners. I think many people.
You've started that trend, by the way. I want to make that very known. Everybody I play against now does the short corner and looks for space. So I think that's you. I watched you live stream. I think it was a couple days ago.
Yeah.
You were playing Division. I wasn't in there long, but I was like, yep, this is going to be the future of corner kicks. Like, I knew why everybody was doing the short corners now.
Yeah.
And it made sense to me. But yeah, it's frustrating because they turn, they whip it in there, or they look for space, or they run the line on you.
Yeah.
Either way, if they're good at reading the game on the fly, oh, good luck. I was just wondering what you did, if there was anything maybe different that I didn't already talk about when I made that video, because that's still one of the biggest frustrations for people that are playing FUT Champs. And more importantly, it ruins the game mode for those people, right? You want to play tiki-taka, you want to be back and forth,
Right.
and you're just sitting here like, bro, move something!
Yeah.
Move something!
Yeah. No, I mean, even though it's not to do with winning, like I'm sitting here every weekend getting stressed out, like just as much as anybody else, for different reasons in the game. Whether it's the guys on Parker Loss or counter, or his goalkeeper saving him, or I'm hitting the post, or I mean, I'm having the same problems. I think it's just I try, especially the last couple of weekends, to just moan as least as possible, because I've realized it actually affects how I play when I start moaning. Start playing well.
I'm a complainer as well, so
Yeah.
I'm right there with you. If people watch me on the live stream, you'll see me. My salt levels grow during the game as well. As things go wrong, you'll hear me complain about anything. I'll be like, "This dude is a terrible person in real life." I go way in. Like, that's saying it so nicely. That's the most toned down ever, right there. I just made a Park the Bus emote for my stream. Like, I'm there. I don't like it at all. Another question I wanted to ask you is, how important do you feel are substitutions? I've always told people, be ready to make subs, but you know, you've been winning with your squad. You've got the super team as well, which is great.
Yeah.
Ronaldo's not coming out, I'm sure.
You know what's funny? I get asked about Ronaldo, and sometimes when I talk to other players about him, my opinion on him is I expect so much more of him. Not just in terms of, for example, if I show his goals per game record, what I'm seeing on him from the eye test, what I'm seeing is he's not doing what you expect a Ronaldo to do. Because I've used in the other weekends like players when I didn't have Ronaldo, and Ronaldo, I can't get rid of him, but he's not completely like dominating like you would think, if I'm being completely honest with you.
Do you feel as if your eyes get stuck on him at all? Right, you pass Ronaldo the ball, and then you feel like influenced to use Ronaldo. Like, I gotta go. This is Ronaldo.
That is true. I think it's
it's almost an unfair though judgment sometimes when it's like that, because everybody gets their eyes get big, right, when you give Ronaldo the ball. You're like 5-star skills,
right.
6'1", faster than everybody. Let's do it.
Yeah, no, you are right. You are right. For example, you have two strikers up front. For example, I usually have Griezmann and Ronaldo, or Bale and Ronaldo. I try to go more towards the side of Ronaldo than Bale for obvious reasons. So yeah, you are right about that.
It kind of transitions into my next question, but I was going to ask, if you had the coins for one uber expensive player, you've got 1 million coins.
Right.
Who do you buy? If I'm tasked, I got to pick up one player. The rest of the team, you're going to have to build around him. Which player are you getting? Maybe even just over 1 million if he's just over 1 million.
Okay.
Think expensive.
One player.
Mm-hmm.
It's between two. And it's...
Give us the A or the B. We're going to vote down below.
They're different players, so you can't compare them. However, my two favourite players are still... Because there's no replacement for Ronaldo, I have to say Ronaldo. And then the other one is Vieira.
Yeah, dude, Vieira's special.
Vieira's...
Special player.
I missed out on him last year. I never got to have him last year. I've always, whenever somebody's asked, because I used him the year before last year, I always said he's an absolute... He changes... Because he does everything. I think of him like, if you compare it to a basketball, for example, I see him as Vieira's like LeBron. He does everything. For example, Ronaldo attacks really well. Vieira does everything, intercepts, gets the ball. He can finish as well. He can bully people. So Vieira or Ronaldo, but they're completely different players. It's hard to say. I guess.
Yeah, they have different roles on your team.
Yeah,
I
different
understand.
roles. I guess it depends what role you think is more important. For example, if you're struggling to score and you feel like you need that guy to just score you goals, I guess you need to go down the Ronaldo route. However, if it then in turn gives you a weak midfield, which is really important in my opinion, Vieira could be a go-to as well.
Well, in football, whoever wins the midfield battle typically wins the match.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that correlates well with FIFA. If you win the midfield battle, not necessarily I'm talking about possession. I'm talking like big takeaways, stopping plays.
Yeah.
That side of playing FIFA. It does help if you have a lot of possession. That's not a negative. But I've just had games where I have 60-40 and I lost 1-0. It could happen.
Yeah.
But it's important for you to win the midfield battle if you want to get consistent W's when you're playing FIFA. I've got your custom tactics up on screen right now. Can you explain why you choose to just gradually move your custom tactics this way and that way? Because you don't do anything major. When I looked at these, they look like safe custom tactics, right down center. You don't have anything that's lower than 40, and I don't think anything greater than 60. Am I correct?
You are correct. To be honest, my reasoning is I didn't make the custom tactics. What I done was, at the beginning of FIFA 17, there was an online tournament on Gfinity, head-to-head, and obviously I played in it. I ended up winning, and in head-to-head, the usual team obviously is like Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, or whatever. But for some reason, they didn't feel that good, and many of the other players agreed as well. And then Gorilla said to me to use France just as an option, and I was struggling with Madrid and stuff, so I said, yeah, why not? And then ended up winning the cup with France, and it wasn't just winning, they felt like the team didn't look that good. I mean, they have some good players, but it felt really like strong. So then I thought, if I ever do go down the custom tactic route, I might as well start off with France's custom tactics. So they are France's custom tactics.
Yeah, you and I come from that like old school era before custom tactics. I can remember tournaments where custom tactics were banned.
Yes.
Like you were not allowed to use them. And I've stressed that before in YouTube videos, and I feel like with the new era of FIFA players, they don't even believe me.
Yeah.
Like it used to be quick tactics, that's all you got.
No, just
nothing. No custom formation, no custom tactic. And that benefited me. That was a good look for me.
Just defensive, balanced. That was about it. Like there was nothing.
And then
else.
like, your normal quick tactics, an offside trap, high pressure, whatever you wanted to do. But that's where we come from in terms of FIFA. This custom tactics deal changed everything.
Right.
In terms of how you can generate build up and how you can pull people back without you having to physically do it.
Right.
There wasn't that option before. Everybody had to manually move people constantly.
I mean,
if you wanted to pressure.
Personally, if it was my opinion, I would rather they did not exist. Personally,
Same.
But I mean, if they're there, you might as well make your own or whatever you need to do.
Well, this kind of proves, I mean, obviously your team is premium, and that happened because Tass obviously has played really well in FUT Champions, and before that, what's your record right now? You have like 500 wins yet?
Yeah, 517 losses.
That's disgusting. 517, but I remember you were pounding through the drafts.
Right, yeah.
So, for you guys at home that always try to come up to me and say, oh, you got a credit card team, and there's a lot of money that's been invested in this game, Tass didn't invest a bunch of money, but he did invest a lot of time.
Yeah. I mean, I think I tweeted when I played my 200 plus games, and I mean, not many people had the same amount of games played on draft, so I was grinding hard first week or so on FIFA 17.
Yeah, you went hardcore. I remember that. I just remember this tweet.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, I feel like I'm a YouTube content creator and I'm not playing like this. I was like, this man is nuts. And they were all draft games. You were like first to 200.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my goodness. I felt like I missed some competitive announcements that were coming, but I guess you were just prepping for everything.
Yeah, I just needed to be... I think it's the best way to make coins, draft. You win it over and over again.
Especially early on, because everything's worth something.
Yeah, exactly. Early on, like any sort of pack, usually.
And for me, it's hard because I have to create the content. I can't just play the game, right?
Right.
So it's like play a few games, edit some things up, see what you like, don't like, etc.
Yeah.
And the last question we've got for you here. Okay. What is your strategy when you're attacking?
Okay.
What is your strategy when you're defending? You could kind of take it in all-in-one. Like, what's on your mind? When you're defending, okay, I got to pull this guy back. I'm just giving you things that I'm thinking about. Or when you're attacking, it's like, all right, I'm looking for the 1-2 and let him loose. Or turn and move. I know that you also do a lot of skill moves, which people that watch my channel have started to lose faith in skills. Tass is skilling all over the place. I'm telling you.
Overall, compared to... I guess the best way to compare the skill move thing is just compare to last year's FIFA. The skill moves aren't as good in general. But that I believe the main reason for that is because they were so good last year. Like, because you couldn't defend. Like, FIFA 16, there was no such thing as defending. Any sort of ball roll, simple skill move, and you'd be gone. So... they are still relevant. For people that think they're pointless, they're a reason why I still score a majority of my goals. So they
when
do
you're
still
in the
exist.
box, skill moves are really superb from what I've seen. You do the drag back really nasty too. I hope that I can grab something off his stream.
Right.
Because I'm going to go through some of your footage and try to show it on screen while we're talking. And I'm hoping that I can... you do a drag back where you pull it back while standing. And most people don't use this skill, and then you can combo it into a scoop turn.
Right.
It's just more of an advanced drag back. I know you. What do they call that? It's just
You
I know
mean
it's like a pullback.
you mean the drag back, like not the full one? So he just drags it. You don't then go behind. Do you know what I mean? You don't.
No,
yeah,
he just
yeah.
pulls it straight back to your player. It's like a whoopsie, like
It's-
that. And then you can go into a skill
Yeah.
combo if you wanted.
Any skill combo. That's the benefit of it. Yeah, I mean how you do it, is that the question, or?
No, I know how to do
right.
it. I'm just saying, like, it's more of an advanced. I was just bringing it up. Like,
Right.
there's one skill that I really like that you'd use.
Okay.
That a lot of people don't see. It's just like when I first made a video using the body feint. We're talking FIFA 14.
Right.
Because most of the people that watch YouTube are not in the competitive circuit, especially in FIFA 14.
Yeah.
A lot of people had never seen the body feint used in that way. How to combine it with other skills, right?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of guys have not seen how you use the drag back this year and the value that it actually has, especially considering the scoop turn's still good to me this year. Very deceptive.
Right. Yeah.
So you can combine it with the scoop very quickly. But anyways, continue. I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm just saying that skills are not all lost.
No, they're definitely
I've seen them work.
No.
So when you're attacking, when you're defending, how are you trying to put together all in one package?
I think-
What's on your mind?
yeah.
Because people always are curious what I'm thinking. I'm sure even more so what you're thinking.
So we'll start off with attacking. Off the top of my head, so let's say we have the ball in midfield and we're trying to go up the pitch. First of all, I'm not 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1, so I have no width. I can't pass the ball to a winger and try to do something. I have to go through the middle, and it's pretty jam-packed. The main thing that has to be done is, I guess, you need to try get the ball to your striker, so an RBA-driven pass. And then once you get it to your striker, I'm just trying to 1-2 it with his partner and try get in on goal via LTRTing, which is a dribbling mechanic where you can like get space. So
I made a video on it.
Right.
It's called the face-up dribble. It used to be called the pace control.
right, exactly.
It's a great skill. Probably the best skill in the game if you consider it a skill move.
Exactly.
For me, at least. I use it all the time.
Yeah, if you consider it a skill, then it's probably the most effective one because it gives you space and time, and then he can't tackle you, and then you've got players making runs, and you've got to just pick people out. But I guess the main
And
thing,
if he goes for a tackle, you can kind of wiggle around him
right,
if you see
exactly,
it coming.
yeah. However, on 4-3-1-2 or 4-1-2-1-2 narrow, when you're attacking, you can be patient, but it benefits you if you just go for it. Like literally, like you see an option and you just go. Like there's not as much build up as, for example, on a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1. So when I'm attacking with that formation, I just tend to go for it. And when I do lose the ball, so say he tackles you, just run back
Immediately,
at him.
right?
Yeah, just
Yep,
run back
yeah,
at
yeah,
him
yeah.
and press him in. Yeah.
This is one flaw that I've actually had with playing some of the narrow formations, is that I'm so used to the additional build-up.
Right.
This is the way that I think I prefer to play FIFA.
Yeah.
That I don't play simple enough sometimes when I'm playing a narrow formation. It's literally take away, let's go. Take away, let's go.
Right.
Keep that on repeat.
Yeah.
And then defensively, let's say they get past your halfway point. So now they're into your back line. What are you thinking when you're controlling your maybe 3 or 4 defenders? Maybe one of them's out of position a little bit.
Right. The main thing I try to do the majority of the time is to make sure the midfield is set up in front of the back four. So I don't actually want to control the back four and try run them out of position. I want to drag Vieira or Petit, or I want to drag, or Pogba, I want to drag them back before I have to actually push a centre back out to press the ball. So try to get a centre mid back, drag him back, and try intercept the pass that the opponent is about to do to his striker. So I try to, once he gets towards my box or penalty box or outside, instead of trying to run at him and tackle him, I'm also trying to anticipate the pass. So not necessarily press him. Trying to anticipate the pass, and that's where Vieira comes in, because he's long, he's really quick, he's like, that's where he
physical
comes in.
Everything.
Yeah,
man. He's
exactly.
everything.
Yeah.
And we talked about this prior to starting our convo for the video, but another reason that this is so effective is because the AI blocks everything.
Right.
So if you're controlling a center mid and they take a shot, your center back, if he's there, he's going to stick out a leg or like a shoulder or something. It's hitting something.
Right. Oh yeah, I forgot something as well. While controlling, for example, Vieira to drag back, you still need to put somewhat pressure on the guy with the ball. Otherwise, he's just gonna walk into a straight line and just go and score. So, you know, the second man contain with.
Oh yeah,
RB.
I know this one.
Yeah.
We defend the same.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about with a lot of this. Yeah, great minds think alike. You need to show like somebody's moving so your opponent doesn't think that he can just run at you.
Exactly. With the RB, he thinks, oh look, he's gonna run at me, but you're actually controlling a different player, and then you get to intercept the pass. So yeah.
Bam! If you need help with defending, that is like the perfect tip of all tips. Not saying don't touch the defenders, but I'm talking about more being able to like use the second teammate contain on and off, on and off, on and off.
Yeah.
Because it looks like you're moving a bunch of players and you're not, and they're not shifting really far out of position. It's one of the best tips for stopping people from scoring, or maybe just buying yourself a little additional time when you're pulling players back.
The beauty of it is the opponent doesn't know. Like, the opponent just initially thinks, oh look, that player is sprinting at me. He's the guy he's controlling. So then he passes it sideways, and you're already controlling the guy in the middle, and you get to take the ball off him.
That's where we're gonna bring it to a close. I gotta put this together in a nice, favorable way. Thank you so much, Taz, for coming on and spending. I think we've been on for like a half hour now of your time, just kind of dropping knowledge. I think this video will help a lot of people get better at FUT Champs, because it's a sweaty manifest of what the hell's going on.
It is.
If you're not frustrated playing, I don't know what you're doing.
In my years of playing, it's the sweatiest thing I mean, including LAN events for important prizes. Like, it's serious. Like, people are taking it very serious. Like, even the average player is very serious. So it's as sweaty as it gets.
I think if you posted your address, like, people might show up. I'm telling you, it's that, like, this has gone way beyond anything I've seen in FIFA myself. And I always wonder if last year, if FUT Champs was a thing, was something that was in FIFA, if we would see the same type of sweat that we're seeing this year, or if this game is just built for some hoes.
Right.
You have a lot of capability because the counterattack's so strong.
Right.
And then the defending blocks so much. So it allows you to have, like, I don't know how many times you've played against like a 6-4. I play against a lot of 6-4s. Right. 6 defenders, 4 attackers.
In the custom.
Yes, I play all day, every day, 6-4s, or like a 6-1-3. That's like, these are the types of formations I go up against constantly. I'm telling you, you guys in the America region, you guys are hoes. You guys are hoeing me out all the time. I don't know if it's because you're playing me, and my name is like Dirty Mike USA, so they know. But I am getting the raw end of some of these formation adjustments.
Yeah, no, I feel your pain. I think we all come up against them, but I think maybe you're coming up against them a bit more than myself. I
don't know. Everybody knows where you're at now. You can't avoid it. If you're playing on that account, you're in.
Yeah.
So, until next time, guys, peace. Make sure to go follow Tass on his Twitch and Twitter if you want updates, tournament news, all that kind of good stuff. But I'll have a lot more coming for you ASAP.